well if he were to come available because they would have needed people. But they didn't. They have their rotation set. Once guys get back from injury, like, can Carmelo Anthony be a productive part of a team that's trying to win through defense, which is what the Lakers are mostly trying to do right now? I don't think so. So I got to say no, unfortunately, for my future Hall of Famer, Melo.
Man, you talking about Hall of Famer. Yes, he will be that. But the only way that he can play with the Lakers is if Adam Silver signs all the guys at US Fitness that was playing them videos with him. Like, because he can't play against NBA defenders. No, Melo. No.
US Fitness. Is that the sister company of LA Fitness? Or 24-hour fitness?
It used to be, you know what I'm saying?
Lifetime Fitness.
Nick, now you know part of your job, besides being a smart A, is to interpret some of the things I was trying to say.
I thought he was maybe at Canada Fitness. I didn't know.
Sixers dealt former #1 overall pick Markelle Fultz to the Magic.
No, you bruisies.
For Jonathan Simmons, a protected first in 2020 and a second rounder in 2019. See, what do you make of the deal?
This is an interesting situation we need to continue to watch. Nick and I are very, very intrigued by Markelle, his ability to build to regain his form. Bright future, young freshman coming out of University of Washington, played an abbreviated season there in college basketball. First selection in the draft. We believe his game can recover, but he's doing some things off the court to try to. This is more than a physical challenge that he does have. But their coach there believes that he can resurrect his career. So we're hoping and pulling for him in Orlando.
This is one of the sadder sports stories I can remember of a guy who suffers an injury and then loses the ability to do what he has always been able to do. From my understandings, he's dealing with a lot in his life. So hopefully going to Orlando, having not the scrutiny of being the #1 pick in Philly can help him. On the Sixers side, I like Jonathan Simmons. They got a pick, but they sold about as low as you could on Markelle Fultz.
Yeah.
They clearly thought he wasn't salvageable there.
All right, the NBA held their first televised All-Star draft with LeBron and Giannis picking their respective squads. LeBron picked first. He snagged Kevin Durant for the second year in a row. Giannis grabbed Steph Curry with his top overall pick, and with his first pick of the reserves, LeBron selected Anthony Davis. Here's how that played out.
With my first pick in the second round, I'm going with Anthony Davis.
You sure you want him to be your teammate?
I'm very sure of that.
Isn't that tampering?
No. Shots fired, and you're up.
Tampering rules does not apply on All-Star Weekend.
It's good. It was fun to watch. What did you make of what you saw in the All-Star draft?
What's the Alec Baldwin line from Glenn Ross? Always be closing.
Right.
LeBron, always be recruiting.
Oh.
Right.
Who are the top 4 free agents?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Kevin Durant. I'll take him. Yeah. Kyrie Irving. Yeah,
Grab
let's
him.
take him too. Kawhi Leonard. Oh, he's on my team. Oh, in the reserves. Klay Thompson. I'll take him. What about guys we might trade for? Anthony Davis. Yeah, I'll take him. Damian Lillard. His name was out there. I'll take him. Brad Beal at the end. I'll take him as well. Like LeBron. Not only did LeBron pick the better team for the All-Star game.
Really?
Because Giannis had an odd strategy about...
The strategy was a lot like Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl for his the ninth time, and Sean McVay in there for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, Giannis was picking his teammates. He said, I think guys who are in their first All-Star game are going to be more motivated after the draft. I feel like
Which might be true.
Might be true, but I mean, after the draft, I feel like the league office called and was like, hey, man, LeBron's team has to trade Russ to the other team.
Has to.
So they have. I can't confirm that, but because they came back from commercial and it's like there's been a trade. Ben Simmons for Russell Westbrook. So LeBron, I think there was some strategy to it, but it was such a cool thing for the NBA. So it was cool when we found out they were going to do team captains, but then last year they were like, no, we can't publicize it. People's feelings will be hurt. That was a great 45 minutes of television.
And the NBA is doing a great job of not only grabbing market share, but last night, another 30 minutes, another hour that they grabbed of the viewers. It was exciting. And to see LeBron, our best player, and potentially Giannis, potentially who could hold that mantle for a long time. So to me, they're doing some fresh and exciting things. We got all these young general managers making these aggressive trades. Kustok talked about. So, man, exciting things happening around the NBA right after, within a week of the Super Bowl.
And then, go ahead, Jenna.
No, we saw what they did last year. They improved on it this year. How can they improve on it next year?
Well, listen, they could potentially take a page out of the NHL's book and have it done right before the actual game, like the Saturday before the game, between three-point contest and the dunk contest, with the guys out there. The guys on the court, like you're doing pickup on street
like
ball. I got him, you got him, like the way the NHL does it.
I like LA
that would
Fitness.
be pretty cool. Yeah,
Right?
like LA Fitness.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
I was listening because I remember that we were talking about it.
Good job, Jenna.
Thank you.
Every day you get better and better.
I'm trying. Back to the Lakers now. Could have been a bad day for the team after striking out on the Anthony Davis trade.
Very good, though.
Thank you very much. But Rajon Rondo's game winner to top the Celtics 129-128 last night erased some of that disappointment. It also pumped a lot of confidence into Rob Pelinka. After the game, the Lakers GM was heard saying, "I wouldn't want to play us in any 7-game matchup, that's for sure." Nick, are you buying the Lakers to make a playoff push?
Rob Pelinka reminds me of my late grandfather, who my mom used to say would come home from work some days and say, "Honey, I think I'm going to buy a Rolls Royce." And the next day would say, "Honey, what are you doing shopping? We don't got no money." Like, it's just going back into the Lakers were ready to trade everyone on the roster and multiple picks because they were so desperate for Anthony Davis. They then don't make the trade. They get a really good win in Boston. Pelinka's like, "Man, I think we are the most dangerous team out there." Don't know. I think it's somewhere in the middle.
It has to be.
I overreacted to the necessity of Anthony Davis the way I think a lot of people did, because it seemed so intriguing that, wow, could LeBron and the Lakers really compete for a championship in year one? Could they get the second superstar?
Yeah, made you lose your patience.
Right, earlier than
because
what the
when LeBron
timeline was.
signs, him and Magic, you got to have patience. You know it's the summer of 2019 before they're able to get that second superstar. But when they said, "Oh, he's requesting a trade. Oh, he's not going to sign with the Pelicans," then that just everyone threw out whatever plan they had. They threw it out.
And especially because since he requested the trade when he did, it confirmed what a lot of us had heard, but none
And
of
the
us
other
knew.
teams he threw in there because you know.
Well, that's what I was getting to. It confirmed. A lot of people thought, but we didn't know, that Anthony Davis wasn't interested in Boston. And by him requesting the trade when he did, it's like, oh, he don't even want to go to Boston. Maybe the Lakers can get him early. But now they're in the spot where we thought they'd be at the beginning of the year, which is absolutely a healthy Lakers team, can be dangerous to any team in the West not named the Warriors. And now, because of the win last night and the overtime win against the Clippers, it's legitimate to say, okay, with the Clippers are going to fall back because they sold off Tobias Harris, not only could the Lakers sneak into the playoffs as the 8th seed, could they get up to that 6-7 line to where they avoid the Warriors in the first round? And I'll tell you this much, I don't think the Denver Nuggets want the reward for getting the 2 seed to be facing LeBron James in the first round of the playoffs. I don't think that's something they would be thrilled about.
But they got to get out of that 8 spot.
Right. And, well, they got to get out of the 10 spot first, but they're on their way to that. And I think, the point that you've been hammering, which is a great one, is take the Anthony Davis stuff out of it. What has been the problem with the Lakers this year? Health. Health has been the reason they haven't been the team that they were up until Christmas, when they had relative health.
Yes, and now they're playing better in transition. You can start to see the chemistry. Rondo's coming back to be able to lead the team. They're getting a little boost from Lance off the bench. Man, this Lakers team. Now, I'm concerned about their free throw shoot.
Oh, everyone should be.
Now, this is not something, when you talk about Pelinka, oh, you scared in the series? Well, you need to be terrified of how you shoot free throws. Last night, 7 for 18. Boston was 20 for 20. Lakers 7 for
If they had lost,
18.
that would have been why they lost.
LeBron almost shot 2 air balls from the free throw line. So, that is something. If you are going to win a series, Rob, you need your team out there shooting better from the free throw line.
Well, and they don't, maybe one of the good parts about adding Reggie Bullock is that's a guy who late in the game you can put out there, because it's not only that the team is the worst free throw shooting team in the league, they only have 2 guys shooting over 70% that were on the roster last night. Only 1 guy over 80. So late in games, the Lakers took the lead on the late Kuzma 3. Then the Celtics have the ball. Kyrie drives the lane, gets the layup. So that's what necessitated the buzzer beater. If Kyrie misses that, we're now in a foul game. The Lakers don't. The Celtics are going to get the ball back down either 1 or 2, certainly not down 3, because nobody on the Lakers is making them both. Like that, in the playoffs, you are going to be have a game that you should win. The other team is fouling to get back into it. You see those comebacks in college basketball a lot. because teams in college basketball are bad free throw shooters, and there's the one-on-one. In the NBA, the foul game rarely works because guys are good free throw shooters. That is a real concern for the Lakers, and they were the worst free throw shooting team in the league last year, so this isn't on LeBron, but LeBron is shooting the worst of his career at the line and seems to have no confidence at the line. Though you're right, 2 awful misses and 1 of 5 at the free throw line for the game, all in the first half.
I still think it was so impressive that this is a team which the entire team was, besides LeBron, was basically traded away before 3 p.m. yesterday to come back and to want to win and have the drive to be down that many and still put 100% of your blood, sweat, and tears into that game as a young player. The question now moving forward, if they do make the playoffs, how much is going to be on LeBron to carry this young team?
Well, all of it. All of it. Like that, he'll be the only guy with playoff experience other than Rondo. Right now, the Lance Stevenson as well. But other than as far as the young guys, the longest tenured Laker is Brandon Ingram. Like, look, I mean, now that Zubac is gone, like that's how young the core of this team is. But that's been the story of LeBron the last 5 years, is carrying his team in the postseason.
Yeah, we just can't lose sight. We got to keep patience. Forget about Pelinka. Let's go back to what Magic talked about. The Lakers going through the 3-year period. Worst basketball in Lakers history, right? Worst in the NBA over 3. Now they're back into the playoffs. Let's not lose sight of that. If they can win a playoff series, this would have been a great season for the Los Angeles Lakers, and it will be. If they win a series, it will be because the King carried them.
And that's why, while people are going to talk about on television how many spots they are out of the 8 seed, we're going to focus on the 7 seed, because if they want to win a series, you cannot be in the 8 seed. No matter the heroics of LeBron, they're not beating Golden State in round 1. Like, that's not happening. So it's the 7 seed is the Lakers' real playoff spot they need to target.
All right, take a break. Coming up, we'll switch some gears. Back to the